What is going on, everybody? So today's video isn't really a trucking video or a tow truck video. I watched an awesome Vice documentary about the school I used to go to, and that was Cross Creek Manor. You guys probably remember a few months back I kind of talked about that, a little bit and how it affected me. Even to this day I still get like little flashbacks and just the things that went on there, and I'm glad it got shut down. It was shut down in 2012 and turned into a hotel. So that's pretty interesting. But they had this movement called Breaking Code Silence. Um, I didn't know nothing about it until I seen the documentary by Vice, and I figured, well, maybe I'll talk about my experience at Cross Creek. So let's jump right into it. So it was in 2012. I was about 13 years old. My mom and dad had showed me this brochure. And I was actually with my grandma as well. Um, they showed me this brochure about this place that I thought was going to be like a camp or some sort of fun place. Like I was kind of for it at first. They, in brochures they try to sell you something, and I thought, cool, let's do it. Now a lot of people or a lot of parents get escorts for their kids. Like, two big guys come in the middle of the night, grab the kids, put them in handcuffs, throw them in the car, and take them straight to the school. It wasn't like that with me. Like, I was kind of excited. I was just like, all right, cool. If this is gonna help me control my anger and make me better and make it to where I'm not doing dumb shit and getting kicked out of schools, then let's go. Let's do it. So I was living in Arizona at the time, and we literally drove all the way from Arizona to Utah, and it really wasn't that long of a drive. Fun little road trip. And I remember when we pulled in there, I still had that smile on my face, like I was ready to go, excited, ready to become a better person, to become a normal functioning kid. And I remember walking through those doors, and I seen this lady there, older lady, white hair, and she's welcoming, And at that time, as a kid, I had, my necklace on. I had an ear piercing at the time. I know, me with the ear piercing, right? It was a phase, all right? um, my parents bought me like these brand new Nike shoes, and I was dressed up. I was trying to look nice. I was figuring, going to a school, gotta look good, right? So my parents and her were talking for a while, and I'm just sitting there on this little couch deal. And then she just looks at me and she says, all right, we're going to need to take your chain. We're going to need to take your shoes, and we're going to need to take the ear piercing. Like, no jewelry whatsoever. She took my shoes. They just took the shoelaces out. And then they let me, give my parents a hug. And I thought, damn, did my parents just admit me to like jail or juvie? Is this what it's like, And immediately after hugging my parents and going through that door, I felt weird, like it wasn't fun anymore. It was it was definitely gonna be something serious. Had that bad feeling in my gut. So they took me up to the dorms, and they gave me like a staff buddy, or I forget what they call it. You start with like a yellow shirt, and then an orange shirt, and then I think a teal or sky blue shirt, and then you go up to shirt and tie, and each shirt kind of tells you what you can and can't do. Basically, it's like little ranks. And once you get to like shirt and tie, you can have your own staff buddy, and basically they introduced me to him. I think his name was Paul. Cool kid, glasses, black hair, spiked up, but just he seemed like an upbeat dude, like he was happy to be there. And they told me, all right, well, now we're gonna have to have you take a shower. Okay, so I took my shower. They gave me like a whole bed kit and everything I needed for my dorm, and I shared the dorm with let's see, we were on bunk beds, and I think there was four. So like 4 beds total, 2 bunk beds. And I don't know, like me not experiencing anything like this before, it's just like, all right, just kind of trying to settle in with everything. And then later on, I ended up meeting my counselor. His name was Jeff. And, you know, to be honest, I don't think the guy was an actual counselor. Um, I recall him doing certain things like if somebody was talking about their past and how they felt, like he would punish people for that, with dumb shit. And every time I would talk to him, I don't know, it didn't really feel like he was listening a lot. He was just kind of like, his arms are crossed, and it kind of put my distrust in counselors, because in school counselors, it just really didn't help much. And then that counselor there at Cross Creek didn't really help much, and then so on and so forth, of trying to get like therapists and all that. Just I just stopped. Like, it just, oh, I mean, yeah, their job is to listen, but what else, So he kind of breaks down everything, tells me when I can talk to my parents. It was very structured, I guess you could say, but there was a lot of rules, which, as a teenager, I really did not like. And I started getting a little rebellious for certain things, man. Like the part where you weren't allowed to talk to nobody unless they were in a shirt and tie or they were your staff buddy. So like I went in with a yellow shirt. I wasn't allowed to talk to a yellow shirt, orange shirt, and I think you could talk to the sky blue shirts and they could talk to you. If I recall, like that's when you can finally talk to people. But they made you feel isolated. You couldn't talk to nobody but these people in blue shirts, and I didn't feel like that was right unless you were in group. Now, if you were in group, then I think you were allowed to talk to that person as long as it was in a subject. That was like the first real red flag for me, and kind of hit my teenage rebellious side, because I'd be trying to talk to everybody, and I can't remember, to be honest, what my first infraction was that got me in trouble within my first week being there. But I do remember, I had to go to this like little closet, right? This like safety room. I guess for all the people with like prison technical terms, the hole, but it wasn't as bad as like that. It was literally a storage space closet. And I remember this one dude, I think his name was Steve, or is it Mike? Had a real big guy. I'm talking like 300 pounds, him and another dude. They took me and they grabbed me by my arms and put me in there. I was all pissed off at him and shit. And I said something to piss them off, like even more. And they just came in and tackled me, like right on this hardwood floor, fucking restrained me, twisted my arm back, and then them sitting on my back. And I still think my back pains to this day are from them sitting on my back, And when they did all that, oh yeah, you best believe I was pissed, I was screaming, yelling, until the point my body just couldn't do it no more, and I had no energy to scream or yell. And then, you know, they would take me back there around like 4 or 5 in the afternoon, and I wouldn't be able to go to my dorm till about maybe, I don't know, midnight to 1 o'clock in the morning. That's a lot of stress, and being in that area for that long time, it's just, yeah. So I really started to go in some major depression with all this, because I was there for a little while, and we had to go to this like group meeting with like one of the directors or head honcho guys named Ron Garrett. And this guy was a dick, like probably the most asshole person out there, that I felt like he just got off on fucking with people, and especially with younger people. And I I wasn't allowed to sit in a chair when we went to the group out. All the lower levels had to sit in the floor, crisscross applesauce and shit. And I raised my hand to ask him if I can um, move up to orange shirt. And he just looks at me, laughs, and tells me to turn around and not look at him. The fuck? Like, okay, that it confused me. So, needless to say, that's when I just said, fuck you. And then the two guys, same thing, grabbed me, threw me in the closet, same deal. And this went on, man, like until the seminars. The seminars were just what it did to these other participants, man. It's sad. It turned them into robots, man. Like it made you feel empty. You go into these seminars, and there was discovery, focus, and I think orientation, and there's levels of seminars you had to go to, and each one was just crazy. They try to make it seem exciting. They'll put like the dun 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 dun, and they'll group you with people and have you do these projects, and it was these projects of people just wanting to yell at you or tell you how bad you are and your self, and they were just like they were just trying to bring you down to a point of no self-worth, like you're useless, and it really fucked me up, man, because like I was a happy kid. I mean, yeah, I got a little trouble in school and stuff, but I felt like I was happy until I went there. And man, it was a mind altering experience, but in a fucked up way. So punishments besides the whole was these things called worksheets, and basically you would go to school all day, right? And by the way, the schools weren't even credited. Like, I was trying to get my transfers and shit when I was going to high school, and they couldn't get nothing from Cross Creek because it wasn't an accredited academy. And they after school, you would normally get like some free time, go watch a movie, and then go to your dorms, do whatever. But for the kids that got in trouble, they had to go to another classroom and listen to these boring ass tapes till about 10 o'clock at night. And you'd have to, and to prove that you were listening to them, you had to fill in the circles for the questions and shit. Like, it was like a gruesome 5-hour testing, and you would get a minimum 3 to 5 days, and if not more, depends on the severity of everything. And that sucked. That sucked. It got to a point where I just stopped doing them, and I kind of gave up, and I said, you know what, do what you want with me. Do what you want with me. Because you get so used to being punished, you get so used to getting hurt, you get so used to the pain and all the mindfuck games, that you just kind of get desensitized to the whole situation, and you just kind of say, fuck it, you're done. There was a lot of bullying there, and not by the students, by the staff. There was this one guy named Dallas, and I remember watching him pick on this one kid named Sean. Sean was like your typical dorky, like scrawny, like I don't even understand why the kid was there. He didn't look like he would hurt a soul, man. Like, most of the kids that were there were for they were there for, like, ditching school or running away or doing drugs or some crimes, like they were there for some serious shit. And this kid, I'm just like wondering, what the fuck's this kid here for? Like, I think he had autism, man. I mean, he was a sweet kid, and Dallas just used to fuck with him. And like, I'd watch him like twist this kid's arm sometimes and shit, like grab him by the neck and squeeze. And the kid was like skinny. He was one of those really scrawny types. And you start seeing certain things and how they treat you, And then you just realize that they're not helping. My parents were paying a ton of money for this place. As time went on, you know, they I think they gave up hope, and I think they called my parents because they used to always make threats saying, "Well, you'll be here till you're 18 years old," and I'd be like, "Yeah, let's see." Let's see how much let's see if my parents can afford that. And then they try to like tell you, oh, so you're gonna do that to your family, blah blah blah. Instead of just getting with the system, he's like, we have a lot of kids here that they do stay till they're 18, and then they're thrown out of here at 18, and they end up homeless or they try to scare you and all the mind manipulation and gaslighting and shit, Um, and I still just said, so what? Fuck you, you know and it ended up working. I remember one day, um, these two transporter guys, the ones I was telling you about at the beginning of the story, came to the school and they picked up Sean and I. And I felt like I was free up, but at the same time, like wondering, fuck, where are they taking me? Like, you would have thought my parents would have been the ones coming to get me because, the school obviously isn't doing shit for me. Um, but no, like, it's these transporter dudes. Um, so they took Sean and I to, I think, Moab, if I recall. It's been a long time, guys. So, but I went to a place called Distant Drums Program. We'd hike every day and you'd learn how to survive. And that was a much better experience. That one actually enriched me, helped me, like made me a little bit better and and all that. But the transporter guys are cool. They said if we fight them, they'll put us in handcuffs and all the way there. But if we go peacefully, it'll be a nice, easy trip, no handcuffs. So we ended up going peacefully. They got us Burger King, and I haven't had Burger King in so long. I stayed at Distant Drums for I think 3 months, if I recall, and it was the best experience of my life. The best. That place was awesome. I never got in trouble. I actually excelled there. I learned so much about survival and living out in the desert and using certain things like skeleton or like the kneecap of a cow. Like we'd find animal carcasses and bones and learn how to clean them and use them to start fires and shit. Like there's just so much useful stuff there and just being out in nature. I remember one time waking up and seeing wild horses running and it was just a beautiful experience. But I'll never forget Cross Creek. I can't really say I made any friends there. Um I don't know. All I know is Ron Garrett. I remembered him and I still remember him to this day. And I looked him up one time and I guess he's a realtor in Utah. Um I remember Dallas, remember Jeff. I remember Bruce. I think that was the name of his teacher. But Bruce was weird. Bruce was I mean, if this place wasn't credited, I don't even know if he was a real teacher. Um, he always liked to put his hands on me though, like grabbing me by my hip and stuff. It was, now that I think about it to this day, really creepy. Like this guy was different. But yeah, that's my story. I know it's nothing compared to like the girls' side because the girls and the guys were separate and stuff because there was rape allegations and sexual assault and abuse and all that. There was definitely abuse though, definitely. They say they're detaining you to keep you safe, but there's a right way and a wrong way to detain somebody. At that time, I was what, probably about like 140 pounds. And you got these two people twice my size, sitting on my back basically. Cruel and unusual, but I'm glad it shut down. I am. And to the parents out there that think about sending your kids to one of these programs, do your research. Don't listen to the brochures. Don't, listen to whoever the representative is. Talk to kids, talk to the families, talk to the parents that's been there, and talk about their experience. Because there's a lot of programs out there that will fuck you up, and it's not good. So yeah. Anyway, that's the story, and I will post the Vice link to the documentary down below. But thank you all for watching. I'm gonna go to bed. Just got off work and just got home, and yeah. So good night, guys.